Hi guys, HT Movies here. Today I will show you a horror thriller movie from 2019, titled The Platform. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. The movie begins with a man is checking up on the people who are cooking and decorating various dishes. He tastes the different items and moves counter to counter analyzing the food. A man says, there are 3 types of people. Those at the top, those at the bottom and those who fall. A man named Goring wakes up in a cell and sees old man sitting in front of him. The old man says level 48. He starts talking about the start of a new month and the food that will be served on level 48. Goring asks the old man, what are we going to eat? To which he says, obviously what the people above us don't eat. Goring stands up from his bed and looks down, and above his level, he sees different prisoners and sees a lot of floors. Goring introduces himself to his cellmate and puts his hand forward for a handshake, but the man asks Goring to go back to his side. The man introduces himself as Thrumagasi. He tells Goring that they have to eat in the hole. Sometimes it will be easy, and sometimes it won't be, depending on the assigned level. Thrumagasi tells Goring that level 48 is a good one. Goring tries to talk to the people below through the hole, but Thrumagasi tells him to stop, because the lower levels are below them, while the upper ones don't answer because they are above them. He tells him that he has been in the pit for many months. He explains to Goring how the hole works, and informed him of the administration moving people to different levels every month. After talking for some time, Thrumagasi says, I will give you as much information as much you'll give me, and shuts up. The green light in the cell turns on in the platform with food stops on level 48. Thrumagasi attacks the food and starts eating as much as he can. Goring sits in his place watching Thrumagasi eat. Thrumagasi asks Goring to have some food, but Goring says, I'm not hungry. Goring grabs an apple from the platform when it descends. Thrumagasi spits on the food and Goring makes a disgusted face. The temperature of the cell starts rising, and both of the cellmates start feeling the heat. Thrumagasi tells Goring that he kept some food from the platform, so they will now be kept in the rising temperature until their flesh is burned, or they'll be frozen to death. Goring throws the apple he kept down the floors and the temperature returns to normal. A woman is interviewing Goring. The woman tells him that he can't escape once he enters the hole until his period expires. She also informs Goring that he can take any one object with him in the hole. Goring says to Thrumagasi, I will tell you the reason why I'm here and then you will tell me yours. Goring tells him of coming into the hole voluntarily, to get an accredited diploma in return for his stay. Thrumagasi is amazed to know Goring chose this hell himself. While Thrumagasi is eating the food, Goring asks, why are you in the hole? Thrumagasi tells him of an ad he saw on the TV of a samurai max knife. He got the blade and then saw another commercial for a more advanced version of it, called the Samurai Plus, and he got that one too. He tells Goring about a murder he committed, and that he had a choice between coming to the hole or going to a mental institution, and he chose the hole. Goring finds out about the other levels and that they are deprived of food. He wonders how people survive without food and suggests asking people on the upper levels about rationing, so that the people on the lower levels don't starve. Thrumagasi tells him that no one will listen to this, so there is no use of trying. Goring shows him a copy of Don Quixote he bought, and asks Thrumagasi to show the object he brought. Thrumagasi shows him the Samurai Plus blade. Days pass and Goring starts eating the food from the platform. Thrumagasi makes lines on the wall with his knife, and is fascinated by how sharp the blade becomes unusing again and again. Goring tries to stop him. When a body falls from the upper levels, Thrumagasi is unaffected while Goring is rattled to see no one doing anything about the dead body. Thrumagasi asks Goring to pray that they stay on the same level. He tells him that he first woke up on level 172 and he has been on different levels. Last month he was on 132. Goring accuses Thrumagasi of killing his cellmate due to the lack of food on those levels. The platform arrives again, but this time with a woman sitting on it. Along with the food, Goring asks Thrumagasi about her, and he tells him that the woman Miharu comes down every month looking for her child. He tries to ask the woman how she's doing, but then the platform moves down. The man on the lower level drags Miharu by foot, while Goring looks for a way to help her, when she appears soaked in the blood of the people she just killed. Thrumagasi tells Goring that he did not murder his cellmate. He says, my cellmate completed his time in the hole and now he must be somewhere garnering success with his diploma. Thrumagasi further tells Goring about eating human flesh, but not committing a murder ever. He then asks Goring to read him a chapter from the book he brought. Goring reads him a chapter. The month passes, the two become good friends, they dance, exercise and read together. One night, they're lying on their beds. When Trimagasi asks Goring if he believes in God or not, he says, if you believe, then pray for us because they are going to put us to sleep with the gas and we'll wake up on a different level tomorrow. Goring wakes up tied to the bed with a piece cloth stuffed in his mouth. Trimagasi tells him that he is younger and stronger and can survive the circumstances. He says, you will see me differently after some time, hunger will drive you mad. It's better to eat than be eaten. He says he will spare Goring for 8 days, but he has to consume his flesh after that. Goring calls Trimagasi of murder. But he says, I'm just afraid like you are, I have samurai plus, if you cooperate maybe there is a possibility for you to live. He tells Goring he will slice his flesh and we'll take care of his wounds and even give him his flesh to eat. Goring tries to convince Trimagasi that he will be solely responsible for his murder and he will not be able to live with himself if he chooses to do it. Trimagasi is unaffected by Goring's words and tells him it will be his last month in the hole and then he'll be free to go. Days pass, and Goring continues to scream and yell, while Trimagasi roams around bathing and reading the book. After some days, Trimagasi informs Goring that the time has come, and he no longer can resist a hunger and his brain is clouded. He takes out his knife and takes small pieces of Goring's flesh. Goring again tells him that his murder will be Trimagasi responsibility, not the upper levels or the administration. He puts a cloth in Goring's mouth and starts cutting pieces of meat from his leg. Miharu comes down on the platform and slices Trimagasi's throat. She frees Goring, who takes the knife from her hand and stabs Trimagasi multiple times until he dies. When Goring wakes up, he finds his leg bandaged and sees Miharu eating the flesh from Trimagasi's body. She brings some to Goring, who vomits it out. Miharu gives him some water and tries feeding him the meat again. She leaves on the platform when Goring asks her about her child. The man in charge of the kitchen looks at a dish and yells of the chefs. Meanwhile, Goring is alone starving in his cell. He eats some worms and hallucinates Trimagasi, who reminds him of being a murderer like him. Trimagasi tells him that now he is a part of Goring's mind and body, and will be with him forever. The light fades and now Goring wakes up on level 33 with a woman sitting in front of him with her dog. The woman introduces herself as Imogiri. Goring says to her it's not a good idea to bring a dog in here, he will be dead tomorrow. Imogiri tells him that he is the first to bring a book, because most people prefer to carry weapons. Goring notices that Imogiri used his name, so he asks her how she knows his name. He recognizes her as the interviewer before he entered the hole. Goring asks her to send him out, but she tells him she could not do anything about it. As he came involuntarily, Goring says, you don't know about the deaths in the hole. She tells him that they prefer to call it a vertical self-management center. Goring complains of not having enough food for everyone to eat, and rants about the conditions of the levels. Imogiri tells him if everyone eats only what they need, the food would reach the lower levels. The platform comes and Goring starts eating the food, while Imogiri makes 2-portion meals for the people on the next level. She tells Goring that she switches days with her dog and needs on alternate days. When the platform goes to the next level, Imogiri tries to convince the people to only eat the portion she prepared and passing the rest of the food to the next level, but the people yell at her and call her crazy. Days pass, and Imogiri continues trying to convince people to start eating in portions, but they never listen to her. Angry, Goring threatens to crap on the food if the people don't follow what she says. Imogiri tells him that she wanted to persuade them in her own way, but Goring said persuasion would never work like threats. The platform comes again, and this time it brings the injured Miharu with it. Goring manages to get her on the bed. When they notice the temperature dropping, Goring spots Imogiri's dog with a bone and runs to him to get it away from their level. Goring is sleeping when the fighting noise wakes him up. He discovers that Miharu who killed Imogiri's dog. Goring tries to explain to Imogiri that Miharu did all this because of her son. Imogiri tells him that Miharu entered the hole 10 months ago, and she has no family or kids. She's an actress, who start killing people. When she came into the pit, she shows regret about sending people to hell for the past 8 years and reveals to Goring that she has terminal cancer. The chefs are cooking and making snail dishes. The platform comes to level 33 again and Goring spots untouched snails which he eats and enjoys. The light fades again, and he wakes up on level 202. When he looks around, he finds Imogiri hanging from a rope. He starts having visions again and Imogiri invites him to eat her body. Goring tries to resist eating human flesh for some days, but finally gives in and cuts into Imogiri's body and eats her flesh. When he wakes up, he finds himself on level 6 with a black man named Baharat. Trying to get to the upper levels in escape, He tries to climb up and asks for help from the cell mates of the upper levels, but they act like pricks. The platform arrives and is full of food. Goring eats some and gives an apple to Baharat. Goring is lying down. When he's haunted by Trimagasi again, he decides to make the food reach lower levels and Baharat joins him on his mission. They take the metal rods from the cell. Goring tells Baharat about the 250 floors he calculated. They get on the platform which starts to go down to the lower levels. The people on the next level ask for food, but Goring tells Baharat they will begin handing over the food and portions from level 51. The people who resist following the instructions are attacked and killed by Goring and Baharat. They reach a level where one wise prisoner named Brambang tells them to send a message to level 0. He suggests Goring and Baharat decorate a dish and keep it intact as the platform returns to level 0. He asks them to imagine the message it will give to the people. The man asks both of them to take care of Panikkada, as if their life depended on it. Goring tries to convince the people that they have to starve for one day to get the message to the administration. But the people resist, so he has to kill them. When they pass 250 levels, they realize that 250 is not the end level and there are further levels below 250. As they descend, they find two men killing Miharu. Goring and Baharat try to fight them off, but are wounded during the fight. Miharu is killed, and both Goring and Baharat are badly injured. They get on the platform. As they travel down, they see people dead, some that lost their minds, and doing insane stuff. When they are on level 333, Baharat says no one's left. Get ready, we're going up. Goring spots a child hiding under the bed. He finds out that the girl was Miharu's daughter, so he asks Baharat to offer her the pie they have been carrying. The girl eats it. All of them are sleeping under the red light. Goring sees Baharat telling him that the girl is the message in his dreams. When Goring wakes up, he finds out that Baharat died of bleeding from his wounds. He drags himself and takes the girl with him on the platform. The platform descends to the bottom of the pit. When he reaches there, he hallucinates Trimagasi, who tells him that the message requires no bearer. Goring gets off the platform as it ascends with the girl on it. The movie ends with Goring walking with Trimagasi as the girl goes up the platform. The movie actually depicts what real living conditions are by explaining social inequalities. Where life consists of rich and poor, the higher people are at that level, the more greedy they are to spend. While the lower the floor level in the prison, it means that people who are in poverty level, the more miserable their lives. The purpose of this movie is made with the intention of insinuating the current conditions of human life that do not want to share and tend to be greedy. Prison with many levels also symbolizes a system of human life in it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you can watch more video like this. Thanks for watching this video until the end, and see you in the next video.